Hey folks, another beautiful day here. Finally made it out to the shop today to tinker with the Mustang. We're going to do some oil priming today. I've never done this before, it's my first time. I've rebuilt a motor before, but I didn't prime it. I just fired the thing up. This one, I got a lot more money in it. I've been collecting parts since I was like 16, 17, somewhere in there. So I definitely don't want to screw things up. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you should only prime it. Haunted shop. I think you should only prime an engine right before you fire it. That way it doesn't blow the grease out. You know, wash all the lobes and all that stuff for the initial fire. So I might be doing some injustice there, but I will prime this again right before I start it up. Today I just want to practice and learn and see how everything works. Like I said, it's my first time. So this is a 454 big block Chevy. What I did is I bought a eBay priming tool. They're like $20–25. It's black shaft with the blue collars on them. They're pretty much everywhere if you look online. And we're also using a Harbor Freight 1/2-inch impact drill, which spins it just fine because I just did a test for this video. So yeah, let's get started. So like I said, we're using some Harbor Freight stuff here. I got their 1/2-inch impact drill. I'm also using the Pittsburgh oil pressure test kit, which you will see here. It's a nice little gauge. They make a single gauge and they also make a kit that has a transmission gauge in it as well, which is the one I should have got. As you can see, I have it plugged in right above the oil filter. There's one little hole up in there. What I recommend is to spin the motor a little bit, build up some oil pressure once or twice, check for leaks. If you don't have that plugged in there, or all your plugs, there's one more right up in here somewhere, I can't see on camera, but if those are loose, it's going to puke oil out, it's going to make a mess. So what we'll do is we'll start by taking that valve cover off. We're going to spin the motor and we're going to rotate the crank 90 degrees probably every 30 seconds or a minute. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Basically what I'm looking for is oil to come out of the push rod holes, and make sure that each one has oil coming out. And you'll need to check both sides. Hopefully this doesn't make a mess and spill out everywhere. If it does, I don't know. We'll have to clean it up, I guess. But yeah, let's get started. So two key notes here real quick. You want to make sure your chuck's tightened. If it's not, it's going to spin. You're not going to get oil pressure. First mistake I made. So make sure it's nice and tight. Make sure it's all the way down. Also, you want to spin it in a clockwise rotation. If you do it the other way, it's going to suck oil out of the galleys and the oil filter and dump it into the pan, which is not what we want. You can see it's got some torque on it right off from the get-go. Before it wasn't all the way on and it was just spinning. If it's spinning, then I would say something's probably not right. Double check everything. And yes, I know I need a phone stand. I'm working on that so I can make some better videos for y'all. For now, it's on the fly, so just roll with me. Full speed right there. I don't know what happened with that. So after monkeying with this thing for about a good hour, I cannot get the priming tool back in on top of the oil pump shaft. So I'm giving up. I tried to do some modifications to it and still no prevail. I'll throw in some pictures of what I did. I did see oil coming up on the driver's side of the head. So I think I'm just gonna call it good for now. This engine was built with a white glove, and everything was hot tanked and clean, so I don't think it's gonna have any issues on fire up. And I'll probably just leave the valve cover off at idle and just double check that way. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. So you see here, I tried to modify the end of the oil pump shaft tool to expose the slotted end, because the shaft in the motor that was sticking up, I don't know if it's by design, but it was just floppy and all over the place, and I think the tool here was just not very well made, or it could have been my inexperience, but just could not get the thing lined up. So I'm going to run it like that. I'm going to start it up. It's got plenty of grease on everything, and in the future I'm probably just going to modify me a stock distributor housing and do it that way.